split into 3 groups. First group, second group, third group. Huh?
So many people in the room.
Yeah, because the third one is harvest.
Okay, nice.
Okay, so impressionisms,
Neo-Confucius.
neoclassicism, and expressionism. So please research these 3 trends or myths or style or whatever it is, and then later come out, present 5 minutes. Okay, and then please provide 1 musical example. Yeah.
是一组一个还是？
Yeah, 你们是 expressionism. So expressionism 你们要 search 2个重要的东西 ，8 tonality and 12 tone. Just look up what is neoclassicism and then later explain to us.
Definition and example. One example enough.
One.
One.
Okay? So expressionism you have more work because you have to look for 8 tonality and 12 tone. Very easy lah. Brandon's computer. Pass it. Oh, Brandon. 可以吗？我也很累啊，比你们累。2首歌。
2首加起来2首。这样子是唱完第1首过后，然后再来是我第2首。
不是2个人都要一起唱。
一个人。
啊，1个人这样，1个人唱完全部。
2个人一起是合音。就可以只是唱就直接口。
可以啊，就2个。
就2个可以。目前可以，我们每个是也可以出来。
对呀，把那个旋律要不一样。
可以全部拿到你有还有对，你有没有自己额外写歌词？这会酷。
就看你讲不是这样。那副歌，
然后2个人一定要2个人都唱完，还是可以唱一个歌？
除非说那是你唱，他做别的东西。做别的事情，玩乐器啊，跳舞啊，跳舞啊。
所以1个人只是唱就可以了。
如果你跳舞的话，
哦，就1个人跳舞，我1个人一组了，
就1个人组。这样可以，可是也是最好的，做因为会站在那种奇怪。就想一下人家讲 present 自己，主要是看你们怎样表现自己在什么，就是不是说我讲嘛，就到你讲就是对你讲，就这样子。所以跟你是 as team 你要讲就 present 自己。因为你要去做 sales pitch 啊，要去把自己的 IT 公司卖给人家，你要 present 啊，到时候要买。这边你做起来，这样不厉害所以这是一个很好的机会，你去练习一下。So mean. Now I know a new way of pronouncing that.
Okay, so how does the origin is? Hey, do your work impression. Not the your conversation, no.
别不这样累啊，累，还是来的。5点起来改了。
我们6点来睡觉了。
我10点开始，2点起来表演。
我来刷一首lecture。
早上10点起来改，然后8点照一下准备一下女儿去学校9点10点开始教。So impressionism 找到吗？什么来的？这里的时间。
这礼拜的第一天就这样，还是
找一下，顺便设计一下 impressionism 在。
你有做吗？快点，
什么是 impressionism 啊？
你写个给我。
How do you pronounce it again? Cucinella.
所以我拜六晚
什么是 personality？ 什么
primary structure
什么意思？
第一个说起来，最主要的。
啊？错。再找什么是 A 图呢？你不要乱教错别人。
这 GPT 看是这样。
这 impressionism 什么 ？impressionism 华语叫什么？有，你看有。说一下看什么？快点来，你们再教他们什么是 impressionism 呢？风景时刻。这个方式是吧？
Oh yeah, this happened in the example a skier. He was and then he took.
So what is the mysticism?
因为我今天上来。
After everything, what is the definition? What is
Type
it?
of classical. I got in something. So that's why I know it's like
I don't know how you teach the whole class what is mysticism.
how
I thought you asked ChatGPT. 前几天电视都有。Anything left out? Like the reading test.
你们注意写在一个动词啊。
How to explain expression?
我们写在动词。这个来自于这个是我们的做自己的过分的这种。
Where are you from? Malaysia. Malaysia don't have culture. 没有什么？
这样做好一点。我们讲不了，我们得带这样的进步，我们可以开始这个，所以说可以来讲美国当时的。有啊，一定要放两个。
讲一讲，你想解释这个？
权利。
这样讲很好啊。
差不多 ，almost to the point。你要讲到比较清楚，那就不用这样子。
要讲很好。
蛮难讲下去的。所以你知道我一点用白话文跟你们解释这东西没有吗？expressionism。So， 明白了吗 ？What is atonality？ 说那个叫什么 ？atonality， 是 twelve tone system。研究一下。最难是你们啊！加油，快，动脑筋，利用你们所有的精力。果然，他就是坐在你身上，你看他头发就知道了。他就是那种，我们这里找是了，经常记的在那里。
写一个，我直接变成一个。
是不是你们想一直带给你？啊，所以孩子听不懂哦。
又看不懂，你要拿。
你这也做，这也全部做，不一定要做啊，就做。因为它
约翰，你是印象派的字嘛？多点印象派的比较。你的那些记忆笔设计叫什么字？
我先讲，如果是那个哦，那个因为你那个那个。
不是咩？有那没有？但是女没有。
哦，我女朋友在那边也给他讲。
好。
5岁才。
5岁才做。
走到吗？小芳。
很大小的那个或者，不是我，它是属于什么？像我是接受版的游戏。
超分什么？
说它是什么？它是一个技术。
这样1 to 9是什么？
看一下你的。
电脑2个吧，一个是字上的 T， 一个字上的 P。或者是理论叫T H E， 一个是 theory， 一个是 technique。然后这个不是在找学生，这是在用 IT 帮忙，就是你在找学生，用 AI 找啊，对吧？去一个 AI 直接做什么？是啊，这样可以出来没有？快哦。
对啊。
你们这想4天哦。
因为我们的微套这边有限的嘛，不可能装到1000多的关系，所以这个里面有时间，然后解释就秒解释。我微套也是摸啊。
等下是你们会来，等下present 5分钟，来要开始了，来，来没有？来。
我在前面透露我。
Explain what is.
1 minute, 1 minute example.
I just use.
Okay, so you are the presenter, right? Okay. So please be prepared. You are the first one.
You are the most.
你最会讲个语气哦。你刚过完了，我们定啦。
那是他的女朋友。你论是在车专后面。
哇，这个，这自己的力量，我做这个很厉害，可能是因为有很大的力量，那个很厉害，
很快耶！很多小文件，因为我在烧而且不是我拿来消耗。我烧一，哎，他隔壁有个女的啊。
还有他自己，
我刚说，哎，我就讲这里的没有看过的。呀，OK， 应该是他女朋友吧？
他跟我讲，喜欢上你的课，他没有他的课是有你的课，
是呗？那每个人我都在睡觉的。
我们是 X 先生，他是 XCI 的。
谁？啊，喜爱的。
哦
OK。
就是这样。
没有啊，你说上完了吗？你可以自己私底下给他上课。今天我们来讲印象派。
我的像叫印象。
哎，我没有讲什么，我没有讲。你的朋友抽一下。 他太期待了。OK done。OK， let's go。Impressionism，好。用那个电脑。要播歌啊！要播歌啊！快点！那边的。这个音乐派。哇，你个。哎，你们比较有分寸。Explain what is impressionism now? Sample. 不然我再再说出啊。Okay, let's go. Make sure you understand these 3 different styles, different trends. Yes, we will ask you.
最搞笑是吧？
他都是搞笑的。我看到很多感觉，然后比较多研究，然后Let's go.
I choose your Pokemon.
这是我今天没有看。有人 turn off the music first. Alright. Oh, come on. Close your eyes and imagine a world where music isn't just a melody, but a vivid painting of emotions and scenes. A music that can transport you to different places and moods. Alright. Today, we're embarking on a journey into the world of impressionism in music. Using one of the most iconic examples, Liberty's Claire Lou. Did I read that correctly? No. Alright, sorry. Alright. This song is like an impressionist painting. It's really all about capturing the essence of something, not so much the details, but the spirit. This piece captures the feeling of a moonlit night with its gentle, flowing melodies and subtle harmonies. It's like taking a musical stroll through a tranquil moonlit garden. Impressionism in music is like painting with sound. It's all about creating a mood or atmosphere through music, often inspired by nature or everyday life. Alright, next up. Alright, next up.
Okay, in simple way to say, impressionism is
usually they use title to like the sea, the jungle, the lady as their title, and they're not directly describe the title. It's through the music, like how you think about like lady and sea. What do you think about it when you thought about it? What will come in your mind? Like lady, well, you may think long hair, very hot. The sea like very
cold.
Cold. Very scary. Very.
Fuzzy.
Very fast. The music move like the sea, follow the wave. The concept is like that lah. In simple way to say her. And the important point is this kind of music is using the whole tone, which means the tone you see in the piano, the bread and the bell. I cannot see it.
Brightness. Very cheap. I close another line for you.
You guys don't have to know lah. You just know using whole tone. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so to summarize what these two guys were saying, watching them present is kind of like watching some American comedy.
Thank you. Is that a compliment? I don't think so.
So, okay, so Impressionism is a very important movement in the late 19th century. It originates from the art world. Okay? So artists like Monet, these people, they are the first Impressionists. And music just kind of borrowed that idea as well. In Impressionism, music will focus a little bit more on atmosphere, tone colors. So he mentioned one very important point, which is true. Instead of using typical major and minor key, they would actually use whole tone scale. Whole tone scale means that every single note of the scale distance is tone. So it's called whole tone scale. And also pentatonic scales, etc. So these are scales that originated from Eastern countries like us, East Asia. Right? The reason why is because at the time, Western people have very little knowledge and very little exposure to Asia. And one of the important composers, Debussy, who is the composer from Clair de Lune, so he attended this expo, the very first expo in France that showcases Asian culture. So he was impressed by how the Asian instrument sounds. So when he went back and used all this idea that he had, obviously he never been to Asia, and sort of presented in his own composition. So that became a style called Impressionism. Okay, so thank you. Right, next we have Neoclassicism. Yes. Stand up straight a little bit more so you feel more confident. You all, the moment you all wake up, stood up, please.
You're not confident if you do something I don't know about.
Be more confident. You know what you're talking about.
Fake it. Nah, this one to confirm you guys. How you guys pronounce this word? The second word. Tariski, what pronounce? See? Okay, so just now from what I got from our tutor, he said it's not Christianella, but it's Pausinella. Okay, so I let the theory part for Sam.
Okay, so neoclassicism was founded by Igor Stravinsky in the 20th century, which is the interwar period between World War I and World War II. So it's the intermediate 20 years between that. And they were inspired by the 18th century's classical music and Baroque music also, but they were against the, I would say against, but they didn't really associate with the Romanticism period, which was 19th century, because they thought Romanticism was overly emotional, over dramatic, over passionate. But they saw music as a more intellectual pursuit, so they thought music should be something formal and clear with clarity. So that's what neoclassicism is.
So this basically this most famous example where I get from the internet. Even I don't even know what this song says about. But this how it's about is like a classical. That's not what I present. Show to you guys. It's about all classical music, classical like in Mandarin is yeah. But besides than this, I will show you something that maybe you should more familiar with it. Okay. And Jerry, this one actually I think it's the show before, right? It's the show before. This one. Not this one. So this is considered one of the neoclassicism music style also. If you got your childhood lah, I don't know if you got childhood lah. Okay, so yeah, so this is all about neoclassicism. Yeah, for truth, it's not that hard lah. It's for this one. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good. So to summarize, what they said is true. Neoclassicism is very, very simple. It's much simpler than Impressionism and Expressionism. The idea basically means go and look back at classical period or Baroque period musical ideas and styles and forms, and then use those ideas mixed with contemporary composition technique. Then there's a new one. So that's neoclassicism. They don't touch Romanticism, but actually there is also another movement called neo-Romanticism. That's a different thing. So this is neoclassicism. Okay, basically for the Paucinello suite, what they look for is the balance of the melody, the structure of the song. And if you remember, there is this form in Baroque period called ritornello form. Do you remember? Obviously don't. Ritornello form means to return. Ritornello means return. So in the form, you have two main sections, tutti and solo. Do you remember that? Okay, anyway, so that, yeah, so the Paucinello suite is basically in ritornello form. Okay, expressionism. Let's go. Last one. The hardest. This is what happens when you listen to expressionist music.
Now we want to present the expressionism. The expressionism is considered as a movement
start in the early 20th century as a response to changing the social and culture of the landscape. And expressionism got atonality and also 12-tone technique. And now I pass to Wei Song to explain
Okay, the 12-tone technique, actually pattern technique. Oh, tonality in music represent a departure from traditional tonal system that rely on the central key or scale. In atonal music, there's an intentional avoidance of establishing a tonal center or key. This results in the lack of the traditional harmonic progression and resolution. Composer of atonal music aim to create a composition that challenge the listener expectation. Often using the dissonance and unconventional scale, atonal music can be complex and abstract, focusing more on texture and sound color than traditional music.
Simply say is the atonality is say to no one to follow the traditional way of the music and there are less of the key and also the tone in their music.
Okay.
And now we want
Pass to Wen Yao.
About the 12
tone technique.
The 12-tone technique developed by composer This is a method of composition that brought structure to atonal music. In this technique, the composer arranges all 12 chromatic features into a tone row, a specific order that forms the basis of the composition. The tone row serves as a source for melodies, harmonies, and rhythms throughout the piece. By using this technique, composers could introduce order and organization into atonal compositions, providing a method for creating coherent and structured works while still avoiding traditional tonal sections.
Simply say is this one got 12 tones, and all the 12 tones must include in the music, cannot let another one, and also they got their order. Is considered as a technique.
Combination of technique and theory.
That's all for today.
See? Need to practice your presentation, huh? Good enough.
If I can present something I don't know anything about this one, I think I do
Well, actually, there's a...
You just present what you have.
Okay. Right, so they mentioned a lot of good points, but there are some points they missed out. So let me just sort of summarize it for you. Okay, expressionism is another movement, kind of similar like impressionism, but there are two distinct styles. So impressionism, like what he mentioned, right? What the artist or what the composer feels about an object or a subject, and then his or her impression of that particular object or subject, and then expressed through music or art. That is impressionism. Expressionism is the other way around. The composer or the artist normally wants to bring out an idea or an emotion that is way deeper than the surface idea. So how does it work? So for example, if I ask you, if you are sad, right, why are you sad? So give me a reason why are you sad. Any reason? Assignment.
Appreciation assignment.
Music appreciation assignment. Okay. So why music appreciation assignment makes you feel sad? Huh?
You're tone deaf.
You are tone deaf. Why tone deaf makes you think that music appreciation assignment will make you sad? So you feel that wasting extra time will make you feel sad?
I like your computer.
That doesn't make sense.
I rather sing than
So this is even more confusing. We love music appreciation, but we hate it, and then it makes us feel sad. So you can sort of see there are so many conflicting discussions, right? That is also why you're psychologists, because emotions are not just one simple organic idea. It's actually a very deep and multiple different layers of understanding. So expressionists, composers or artists or people try to peel off these ideas and then express it through music. So in order to do that, they cannot use traditional method or theory. So they, in music, we use not atonic, atonal. Okay, that's another word you should know, asexual. You know what that means? When asexual. Okay? Huh? What? Okay, so this is important because in the test it actually comes up. That's why I'm asking you to do this. You're like play. 你阿妈一包下去。我突然看见三个他只是狗骂。Sorry, I'm very angry because the last class they totally don't want to do. Yeah.
Oh, why?
You ask me. Okay, so atonal theory basically means we do not rely on tonal harmony. So if you remember what is tonal harmony, remember key, scale, all these things. So the key or scale belongs to something what we call a tonal harmony theory. So it's actually a theory. Okay, that's why if you go and study music, you go and study music theory, it's actually tonal harmony theory. So atonal is another theory. It basically means that no key, no scale, no chord, nothing, nada. You do whatever you want. You write whatever notes you want. Simple as that. Huh?
My first song.
Atonal?
Yes.
Correct. You're not wrong. So what happens? If there are no rules, it's actually way much difficult for us to do something because there's no structure. You don't know what to do. If I just say write a song, how? What should I do? I don't know. Write lah. Why you don't know? Play basketball, throw only one, don't know where? Don't know. Right? Because there's no rule, it's hard. So what Schoenberg did is that he invented a technique, so an idea, a guideline, so that you can compose an atonal music with a certain guidelines. So 12-tone composition has two rules. He only mentioned one rule. So the first rule is you must use all 12 different pitch in your melody. Okay? So in case you don't know, Western music system has 12 pitch. Okay, so for example, this is C, this is also C. Right, so if we count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This one we don't count because it's a repetitive of the C. So you have 12 pitch in Western music scale system. So in order to write 12-tone system melody, you have to, in your melody, you must use all 12 pitch in your melody, no exception. Second rule, once you use whatever pitch in your melody, you cannot repeat it again. That's the two rules. Okay? So once you have your melody, you normally write it down in a chart, so they call it a tone roll. So they mentioned that correctly. So a tone roll looks like this. Very blur. So it doesn't look like music, right? It looks like some mathematical formula.
That's nice.
Yes, so it's actually that. So it's not really music, to be fair. Right, so what you do, you write one tone roll here. Okay, so this is the first melody. What you do next, you use the same sequence of the notes, but you transpose it into 12 different pitch. Because remember, we have 12 different pitch in one system. So then you have 12 different versions of the melody. But if you think about it, your melody can also be performed in 4 different ways. You can perform it originally, you can perform it the ballet, retrograde, upside down. You can also perform it inverted. In music score, it's basically a major movement, or inverted retrograde. So it ends up with a 12 by 2, 12 grid, 12 by 12 grid, you have 144 melodies there. Then you use this 144 melodies to write a song. So when he introduced this idea, it was a big thing because it literally means you don't need to study 10 years of music to learn how to write music. You just need to know how to count. Then you can write a song. So it was a very, very revolutionary move for him. So this is 12th tone. But of course, just now when they play the music, there is a 12th tone composition. Most 12th tone music can be very confusing and hard to listen to because there's no tonal center and no key. Our brain or our ears are trained or are engineered naturally to listen to a focal point. So that's why if you listen to when you listen to music, you know which note to return to, even though you do it unconsciously. But in the 12th tone music, they don't have that. Okay? Because you never return to the same pitch after you use it. That's the issue. But that doesn't mean atonal music is the same. Atonal music can also be nice. For example,
cancer.
So listen to this.
Facing headphone problems?
This is atonal music, but it's not this one. Okay, so this is atonal music, but it is not 12th tone. So you have to understand, atonal is theory, 12th tone is a technique, right? Not this one. So you can hear it has a lot of notes that doesn't really work well together, right? Because there's no tonal center. You can use whatever note you want. That's the idea. But it doesn't mean it's bad listening in this case lah. Right? Samuel Barber is one of those composers, atonal composers who wrote very beautiful music. Okay, so get the idea? Right, so Impressionism, Neoclassicism, Expressionism, three very, very important points. In your test, we will always ask you these three things. Make sure you understand what they are. Okay. Now for the tutorial questions, just copy down the answer. Okay, please take down. Next one. So you can see Impressionism, Neoclassicism, and Expressionism. Alright? 12th tone system. Now in this tutorial, we only have 3 composers, but in the test we will ask you more than these three composers. So if you really want to know more about the other composers, they are in the slides. So for example, like John Cage, Edgar Varese, because in your melody test, the listening test, we will actually ask you about other 20th century composers. Okay, now these two guys over here, Alban Berg and Anton Webern, these are Schoenberg students. All three of them work on the 12-tone system invention. And then there's a whole drama where Berg and Webern says, you know, Schoenberg stole our idea and then he go and publish the paper. So that's why they thought he invented it by himself. But all these three guys is known as the second Viennese school. Do you remember who is the first Viennese school? Mozart, Beethoven, Haydn. Remember, the test will ask you. Okay? Blow down. Schoenberg, Alban Berg, Anton Webern, Sangaran. They are known as the second Viennese school. Viennese is Vienna, basically. Viennese. People from Vienna is called Viennese. Okay. Sorry, my bad. Second Viennese school, these three guys. First Viennese school, Mozart, Beethoven, Haydn. Not Haydn, Haydn. Haydn. Okay? So if you don't remember, try to remember these two schools because they are very, very important. They are basically the turning point of the history. Okay? Right, thank you. Good job. Any questions? No? Happy? Not happy. Why not happy? Three years, Emma. It's okay.
Next Monday.
Hello, my Friday, come and listen some music.